today we are doing another beautiful version of AITA, otherwise known as Am I the A-hole? Okay, and the reason why I'm so emphatic this morning is because the story that I'm looking at right now, the title alone is so very, very upsetting. Also, surprise microphone. And this is the title. My wife listened to my call with my therapist and is upset with what she heard. AITA. This guy's wife was eavesdropping. Yo, I'm watching too much Love Island. I am watching too much Love Island. This reminds me of somebody from Love Island. If you see the show, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Eavesdropping on a therapy session. If you got to do that, you're not in a relationship that's worth saving. And you know, that's my crude opinion, but then again, I don't know, maybe the stakes are really high. I don't know. Let's keep reading, but right now I'm very upset. I have a call with my therapist every Friday. My wife works from home. Last Friday, my wife and I were arguing. We haven't been getting along recently. I had my call with my therapist, and my wife stormed into the room once the call was done, saying I was a liar and she would never talk about me the way I talked about her. Yo, what? Oh man, that's nuts, dude. This studio is like detached from my, it's away from my like house, so I'm just grateful I have a separate space, you know, because I'll do my therapy sessions back here in the privacy of a little like sound-treated space. I know I'm incredibly lucky, but if you don't have that, just sit in your car or like make sure they're away or something. Not that you have to do all these things, but like with remote therapy sessions, it's great. You can sit in your car, you could go for a walk, you can be like, hey, I'm going to turn my camera off, but I want to go for a walk around the park. You know, if you got somebody breathing down your neck like this, think of some other options that are possible. I weep for your privacy. That's so bad. Or you know what else you can do? Is you can take a fan and blast it on high right next to the door. That, you want something to get rid of the consonant sounds, and will make you less intelligible. Big old fan, blast it at the door. We completely separated for the weekend, but have since resolved. Over the weekend, I soundproofed my office to prevent this in the future. Okay. Sucks that you have to do that. Unfortunate you have to do that. She's not respecting your boundaries. Yikes! Today after my call, my wife is visibly upset. I asked her what's wrong, and she said the thought of me being on a call with my therapist rekindled her feelings from last week, despite not being able to hear me. I told her she was the one that listened into my private call with my therapist, and she was not supposed to hear any of what I said. She said she couldn't do anything not to hear it, even though she could have sent me a text saying, I can hear you. Okay, my thinking then, maybe they're in like a smaller home with hardwood flooring, and there's like a big gap underneath the door frame. If that's the case, put a towel under there, dog. You got to put a towel under there. You know, do what you can. Have a little pillow fort around you on your call, because voices do travel. In like old homes built in like, you know, like Victorian architecture, like in old Savannah, Georgia, for example, you can hear everything. I don't know what I could have done. I was having a private conversation and my wife listened in. She claimed she's never been able to hear me before, but somehow this week she could hear me. AITA for blaming her and saying she did it to herself. In my opinion, I was venting to my therapist and not watching what I was saying, nor should I have to. My wife had the option to tell me she could hear me, but she did not. She went outside for part of the call, but not after she listened in enough to have her feelings hurt. A little piece of me wants to go, what did you say about your wife? But that's incorrect. That is not the correct thing here. The thing is, everybody in therapy has the right to get things out in the open. It's like you're cleaning out your dirty laundry with your therapist. You're able to put it all out on the table and analyze the raw feelings. And some of these raw feelings are incorrect. For example, if this guy said some stuff about his wife that was false, he's saying it out of emotion. He's saying it out of, you know, pent up whatever's going on. He could just be putting it all out there. Like, it's for y'all to, it's like, I'm sick. I'm, you know, I don't know a pretty word for upchuck. I'm upchucking all my feelings, and let's sort through this and figure out what's real and what's not, you know? It's a part of the process, and you just got to trust the process. It's ugly. You get a bunch of nasty stuff out there, and the therapist will go, okay, let's take a step back. Let's walk through this. Do you really feel this way? Did she really say that? You know, and just go through it. Let's see what the comments say. This video is brought to you by Uber One. Pardon the interruption, but if you are a student, I need you to listen up because I have a free trial alert of something very cool. I repeat, free trial alert of something very, very cool. Uber One for Students is a membership with savings on both Uber and Uber Eats, and student members can get free food daily from places like Popeyes and Domino's. For example, on Tuesday, you can grab a free seasoned beef soft taco from Taco Bell with a $15 order. Or on Fridays, you can nab a free chicken sandwich from Popeyes with a $15 order. Just from being a student member. You can join Uber One for students for just $4.99 a month, which is what, a cup of coffee? And here's what you get, all right? $0 delivery fees, up to 10% off orders, up to 5% off of groceries, 6% Uber credit back on rides, and exclusive perks. All you gotta do is just tap the link below to sign up, and you will get your first 4 weeks for free. Hello? This is a no-brainer, folks. Hello? I literally have been an Uber One member for quite a while now, probably multiple years, and I've saved so much money, it is insane. But if you're a student, yeah, I'd click that link if I were you. Big thanks again to Uber One for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video. Okay, damn, you're right. She did it to herself. I don't know what you discussed, but therapy is supposed to be a safe space, which she violated, let alone be mad about what she heard. Try to explain that. I mean, therapy helps with how we see things. If you're venting because of whatever reason, the point of therapy is to help you deal with that information and process it. Sometimes it changes the way you see things and you get a different perspective. Others, it reinforces what you felt. I hope you guys can sort it out, but please tell her to respect your boundaries. This is a big deal. Op replied to that. Op said, I have tried to explain that, but she takes it as just another thing I say she does wrong. Oh God, we're dealing with somebody who can't take accountability. That's not good. When you're dealing with somebody who is unable to take any accountability at all, and they will blow things out of proportion. Oh, it's just another thing I did wrong, right? I'm not even as upset that she listened as I could be. To me, that's a huge violation of privacy, but from how upset she was, I try to look past that part, but I refuse to take blame for it. Good, don't. That's not your blame to have. Oh God, I hate people like that. Dude, relationships like that, I feel so bad. If you're in a relationship like that, I'm so sorry. I know what that looks like. It's awful. I'm sorry. That's tragic. It's tragic. Therapy is supposed to be a private relieving process. When my husband is in therapy, I do everything I humanly can to avoid listening. She could have walked away, definitely in TA. She knew it was a personal call, and instead of putting on headphones, turning up the TV, or going for a walk, or one of many, many different choices, she listened and carefully. I wouldn't trust someone like that, ever. Bet you anything she throws it in your face at some point, if not already. Oh yeah, that's true. Using that, taking that stuff, and storing it for later as ammunition is borderline emotional abuse. I'm not gonna lie, that's not bueno, that's not good. Now, if you said something in therapy like, hey, I plan to kill my wife because she's an alien from outer space, okay, if you said some stuff like that, I could see her being a little concerned. Like if she got a glimpse in the other room of like, and also I'm going to kill her, and then I also, she tried to poison me last night. Murder. No, if it was something like that, sure, I could see that being a little bit of a concern. But if you're just being like, oh, she always nags me or whatever, thing you could say in therapy, this is not good. This is not bueno. Yeah, you gotta set a boundary down and let her know how important that is. Okay. Should I move to Alaska without my boyfriend to get my life together? I'm going to say yes. I don't even know what it is. The fact that you want to get your life together, that's good. I like that. That is a great question. I love this question. I love that you're getting peer review here. I love that you're open to getting feedback here. I think that is a wonderful thing to ask yourself. Hi, everyone. I live in South Carolina in my mom's house rent-free. My boyfriend also lives with me. Okay, so your boyfriend lives with your mom and you? Right now, he's unemployed and he lost his last job because he couldn't consistently wake up on time and he has no savings. Oh! You got a winner! As judgy as I want to be right now, I completely relate. I hate waking up early. I'm so glad I'm self-employed because if I wasn't, dude. How do you guys do it? How do you at home? How do you get up early all the time? You know what? I take that back. I used to work in a coffee shop. What am I talking about? I was able to do it. And also, once upon a time, I lived with my old girlfriend's parents too. And it was an hour away, an hour and a half drive away from the coffee shop that I worked at. And so I would get up at 5 a.m. and I would drive an hour and a half to Hollywood to work at this coffee shop just so I could keep my job. So actually, I do judge this guy. Because I was about 25 or 26 at the time. I've been carrying a lot of the responsibility in the relationship, financially and otherwise. Yikes, dude. Oh, man. Come on. You got to get your stuff together, man. He's got to get his stuff together. My mom lives in a very remote part of Alaska, Dillingham. Wait, what? Huh? Oh, your boyfriend lives in your mom's house that is in South Carolina. But okay, so this is a different house. Okay, so your mom has two houses. Your mom has one house in Alaska, and your mom has a house in South Carolina. You and your boyfriend live in a house, sans the mother, in South Carolina. My mom lives in a very remote part of Alaska, Dillingham, and called me tonight offering us a great opportunity. Jobs up there pay really well, and the cost of living is offset by the benefits of isolation. Basically, a few years up there could allow me to save a ton of money and come back to the lower 48 and buy land or a house in cash? Dang, y'all want to move to Alaska? Let's see what Alaska looks like. I'm browsing Alaskan homes on Zillow right now. Let's see. Dude, do you get all that yardage? Holy cow. 3-bed, 2-bath, couple bedrooms, washer dryer, carpet, a lot of camo hats here. You're losing me. Look at all that yard. Oh my gosh, look at that backyard. And you got a garden? Oh, okay. And so let's say you get a good job out there. You're able to save money. I don't know. I mean, maybe. It's a very interesting proposition, I will say. Let's continue. I was really excited and told my boyfriend about it. His response was, I don't know. And he just kept playing his guitar. I let him know I'm seriously thinking about going, and his only response was, okay, well, I'm probably not going to go. My man's here he's paralyzed. He's paralyzed with fear. He worries about his life fading away. He's having what I call a quarter life crisis. This is what's going on. This is my opinion. It's not real. I'm a guy on the internet. When I was 24, 25, I had a bit of a quarter life crisis. All right. I had a bit of like, God, what should I be? Where should I go? Should I go back to school and do something else? Should I become a nurse like everybody in my family? Should I, what do I do? It's very common. And you are presenting this guy with an opportunity that means he has to mentally go, okay, is this, you guys moving to Alaska together to save money up to buy a house equals he's got to go, am I ready to commit to this woman and her family for life? Like, you're moving across the country out of your comfort zone, your friends are away, all this stuff, rebuilding over and over again. This is like wife stuff, kind of. Husband wife stuff, kind of. It's sad. He's alone in his head, in his heart, in his mind. He doesn't know what to do. Because he probably loves you. He probably loves this woman writing this, and you guys have been extremely supportive. You're letting him live in your place rent-free. You have a whole option. This is a critical moment for him. He must defecate or get off the pot. Everybody understand what I'm saying? And you got to make a choice, and you got to make the right one. Here's the best outcome, worst outcome. Best outcome, this is a wake-up call he needs. He's like, you know what? Yeah, screw it. Let's go. I'll move with you to Alaska. Let's make some money. I love you. Let's get married. I will say this expectation is like, yeah, let's get married. But his response was, okay, well, I'm probably not going to go. He's holding you back. This is somebody from hell, from Hades, grabbing that leg and trying to pull you down. Leave the man behind. Here's the thing. I'm very independent and I love to travel. I've been to almost every state, and while he's never left the Carolinas, oh, he's a real Southern boy. Okay. He doesn't fly, and he has never really shown ambition when it comes to money or life planning. Then why are you with him? Is he hot? I get it. If somebody's hot, it makes you think a little different. I understand, but nobody is that hot in life to where they can stifle your dreams. Nobody's that hot. All right? Nobody. You understand what I'm saying to you right now? No, don't let somebody be that hot. That does not exist. We've been together for almost 2 years, and I've never seen him save money or take real financial responsibility. So here's what I'm wondering. Is this life giving me an out? Should I go to Alaska, set myself up, and stop waiting around for someone who won't grow up or grow with me? This is correct. You're posting on here. You're looking for support. You got it, babe. Would love any advice or personal experiences, especially if you've been in a similar spot. Thank you. And then the edit here says, just to add, I've been to Alaska multiple times, both summer and winter, so I do have a pretty realistic idea of what life there is like. I even spent a full summer working in McCarthy and absolutely loved it. So you'd like Alaska. The only reason I moved back was because it was a seasonal job and I had full-time teaching position lined up back home in South Carolina. I'm not going into this blindly. I'm aware of the cost of living, weather, and conditions. Okay, cool. So it seems like people in the comments here were like, you sure you want to live in Alaska? You sure? Alaska ain't what you think it is. Yeah, no, you gotta leave this guy behind. I think it's obvious, right? Let's see what people say. Take it. You also need to get your mom to evict your soon-to-be ex-boyfriend. He won't leave that house because he has a free ride. Don't leave until he's out. Oh, so they're worried about a squatter situation. I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? This, break up and kick him out ASAP, and then after you have new tenants in the property and settled. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, then that could be a little income property. Yes, make that an income property. Rent it out. I don't know. I've never really fully understood squatters' rights. I think the thing is to just not evict a person like overnight, but I don't know what the rule is. I don't know what that is. Boyfriend can't keep a job because he can't set an alarm, go, but leave useless BF behind. He'll just continue to freeload off you like he's doing now. There's a lot of lames in life, dude. There's a lot of lamos out there. It's tough when you have ambition and when you're with somebody who doesn't, or when you're with somebody who stifles ambition just by being around them. For those of you watching right now, I hope in a position where you're either single or you're with a partner who supports your dreams. Somebody who's ready to ride with you. Dump his ass, dude. Next one, AITA for poking fun at my cousin's divorce after she insulted my wedding. I'm gonna say nope. just from the title, but let's see. I got married at 20. My husband and I were young, desperately in love, and super broke. That's how they used to do it back in the day. I was never one to want a big wedding, so we kept it small. I will admit my cousin helped a ton with the decorations. I'm not one to be super into that stuff. I was fine with it just looking a little plain, but she wanted to make the day special for me, and I appreciated it. I sang her praises the entire day, paid her for helping me after the fact, and literally made a speech at the day of the wedding how grateful I was for her. I should also note that she got married a few months before me in an extremely lavish, extremely expensive wedding. Her wedding day was actually perfect and everyone still talks about it. However, she got divorced about 4 years ago. Okay, you outlasted your cuz. I'm unsure what has caused this, but now anytime we're together, she makes fun of my wedding. She mocks how small it was. She mocks how corny the venue was. She insults my bridesmaids and my husband's family and how useless they were the day of. I normally don't react because honestly, I don't care about her opinion. Let me stop there. People, generally speaking, want to feel important in some capacity, and this is how your cousin wants to feel important. She helped you with the decorations. Her marriage failed. And, so now, instead of her looking at those feelings and really dealing with that, she's taking that frustration with marriage in general, she's projecting it onto you and your cheaper wedding. But you were young. And you were broke. And that's romance, baby. Started from the bottom, now we're here. As that one guy said, I forgot his name. I hope he's doing okay now, whoever it is. But this is one of those situations where you got somebody projecting their negativeness onto you. It's an illness. Negativeness is an illness. It's contagious. Trying to cough in your open mouth. However, today we are at a large Father's Day gathering with all of my family. From the second she saw me, she started ragging on my wedding to her new boyfriend. Okay, so she got a new man. I'm not sure, but something in my brain just flipped, and I said back to her, well, at least I'm still married. Yeah. If that came out of the blue and you never once communicated to her that, hey, you got to knock that off, this might have been an internal battle you were fighting, right? Man, she just got to knock that off. Of course she knows how much that bothers me. Maybe she doesn't know. Some people's sense of humor is bad, is not good, okay? And they think teasing or ragging on somebody is a term of endearment because nobody's told them any better. I used to be that way. I used to think that stuff was funny. It's not funny, punching down in a way. And if nobody's ever told them that, if nobody's ever called them out on it or made them self-reflect, you just kind of sniped them from a rooftop. Correctly, I will say, it is... This is delicate, isn't it? Isn't this a delicate situation? It's a very unique situation. You met her where she's been meeting you. Yes. Some could say stooped to her level. Maybe. You hit a sore spot for sure. Okay. Was it deserved? Yes. But you skipped a step. The next step was gently asking her, hey, can you knock that off? You skipped the warning shot. You went straight to sniping from a rooftop. Everyone in my family is upset with me. They said I went below the belt with that comment, but absolutely no one has ever checked her for insulting me over and over and over and over. AITA. Okay, well, you're really frustrated. She has been insulting you over and over and over again, swamp biatch. People have been insulting you, and you shouldn't have to take that. You teach people how to treat you, right? She gonna learn today. My opinion, you skipped a step. Are you the a-hole? You were one, but I don't know if you were the a-hole. Everyone sucks here is my thinking. Let's see. Not the a-hole. You can only be pushed so far until you react. She's clearly jealous of the success of your marriage and has resorted to insulting your wedding to cope with her feelings. Pathetic. Stick to your guns. A reply to that says, every time she brings it up again, reply to the same. Seriously, cuz? It's been 9 years of you negging on our wedding. Grow up and move on, or try to bully someone else. Maybe if she worked as hard on the marriage rather than her perfect day, she'd still be married. And TA, yeah, it's that conversation. This is crucial, right? Seriously, it's been 9 years of this. You need to move on or bully someone else. I'm done listening to this. It's easier said than done, but this prevents you from taking, sniping on the roof. Again, it's tough. I think the big thing here is if you just for everybody, if you let things slide over and over again, people will slip into that slippery slope and then they'll start fighting in the mud and slinging mud and all that stuff. You got to catch it early. This type of behavior, you got to catch it early so it doesn't progress and become a habit. Habits. Habitually whining about somebody, habitually complaining about somebody. God, my cousin's wedding was so cheap. Get a load of this guy, right? A cheap wedding. Ha ha. Trash. Trash. Am I the asshole for saying that my brother-in-law and his future wife can't sleep in our bedroom while we host them on their honeymoon? So you don't want to give up your master bedroom while you're hosting them? That makes sense to me. I and my husband are fortunate enough to live in an area of the world that is very beautiful and as a result frequently visited for honeymoons. Just say you live in Hawaii. Just say you live in Hawaii. That's fine. So you're in Maui. Let's pretend. Let's all pretend. Let me give you a visual. Of a house in Maui. Let's say they live in something like this. Like a little house kind of close to the beach, something like that. Right? My brother-in-law and his soon-to-be wife are getting married in August and want a honeymoon in the area where my husband and I live. And they asked around a month ago if they could stay with us on their honeymoon. We agreed. They are family and are also tight on funds. We are happy to help and host them. I'll tell you what, though. I'd feel a little weird hosting somebody honeymooning because there's going to be a lot of hanky-panky going on. Okay, let's just say that. Gonna be a lot of motion in the ocean in Maui. You know what I'm saying? And you're hosting people to do them activities at your place because that's what the honeymooning is all about. It's all about doing that thing. Not all about it. And I'm being a little old-fashioned, I guess, in saying that. Maybe it's just a media perpetuated stereotype. But yeah, isn't that kind of what it is? We have a 2-bedroom home, and our guest room has an air mattress that is used for when friends and family stay. Otherwise, it is my work from home office, hence we don't have a typical mattress in there. My brother-in-law didn't really get into the specifics of why they didn't want the guest bedroom / air mattress, but that just seemed to be, we don't think an air mattress is honeymoon appropriate. Y'all are trying to really get it on? Is that what it is? Or you just don't want to sleep in an air mattress? This is one of them beggars can't be choosers situations. I lifted my hand up there because I thought there would be text. Let's try again. This is one of those beggars can't be choosers. There's a typo in beggars. Can you fix that? This one's beggars can't be choosers situations. Why did you spell choosers like that? That doesn't make any sense. This is one of those beggars can't be choosers situations. Okay, that's just a headshot of me from when I was 16. When my husband asked me about it, I was honest with him and said I wasn't comfortable with his brother and his new wife sleeping in our bed on their honeymoon. My husband agreed with it. Yeah, because they're trying to do the hokey pokey in your bed. This ain't Airbnb. Apparently, us saying no to this request has caused some issues in my husband's family, particularly with his sister, who's saying we should have just let brother-in-law and his future wife stay in our room. And it is their honeymoon and they shouldn't have to sleep on an air mattress. I don't know. I mean, I get the hospitality thing. You're really asking a lot from these people, though. The bed is a sacred thing. There's medicines in there, medicine cabinet, bathroom, toiletries, all that stuff. You got to take all that out. It's like so much versus getting a guest bedroom together. They're asking a lot. You give them an inch, they take a mile. That's what's happening. This is my opinion. We love everyone in this scenario, especially brother-in-law and his future wife, and don't want to cause a rift. So my husband is sort of leaning towards acquiescing to their request. However, I am not down to change my mind on this. It honestly really grosses me out because I believe that the reason they want our bedroom is so they can comfortably bang during their honeymoon on a regular, not air mattress. That's what they're trying to do, man. Yeah, we got to inject more money into this situation. I think everything is a trade-off. You want the cheaper option? That's your trade-off. It's an air mattress. You don't want to spend any money on your honeymoon? This is the trade-off. You got better do it on an air mattress. You got to be ready to do it on an air mattress. Unless somebody wants to contribute a gift to the wedding, and that gift being stay at this resort. Way easier said than done. That's a lot of money we're talking about. It is their honeymoon and they shouldn't have to sleep on an air mattress. Remind sister and the rest of the family that no one, let alone you and your husband, are forcing them to spend their honeymoon in your home. That was their choice and their request. Your guest bed happens to be an air mattress. If they think that an air mattress isn't good enough, they are free to choose any other location that isn't your home. Well, sister, I'm happy to hear that you will be paying for their hotel room so they don't have to sleep on an air mattress. For the intimate things that one does on their honeymoon, they should book their own hotel. Bingo! Bingo, 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 bingo. Ignore that. NTA, absolutely no. They can save up for a hotel. They don't have to take their honeymoon right now. They can wait a year or so. The entitlement is extreme. Yeah, entitled is the word. Entitled. When you're begging and you think you can choose, the word is entitled. I hadn't thought about that. You're right. They could definitely wait and postpone the honeymoon until they have more money. NTA, their request is creepy and says it all. They want to consummate their marriage on your bed. Gross, creepy, and not in the kind of family I want around. Extremely gross. The fact that they're okay with asking to consummate their marriage on your bed is also weird. Also, where the heck do they think you and your husband are supposed to sleep when they visit? Stand your ground up. Yeah, entitled's the word. There's a lot of words to be thrown around here, but entitled is one of them. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Honeymoon elsewhere. okay? AITA for adopting a dog after I thought my boyfriend broke up with me. My boyfriend was going through a tough time and he said he needed a break. He said he was going to press pause on our relationship and go visit his family in Washington. I asked how you pause a relationship because I don't understand how that works. He said he needed some time to work on himself and asked me to respect that. After he left, I reached out to him a few times via text, asking him to let me know when he's arrived safe and to say hi to his mom for me. I received no response. I tried to call and left a message asking if he had broken up with me. I came to the conclusion that he'd ghosted me and my friends agreed. How long? How long of a time has this been? How long of a time? Is it 2 days? 2 weeks? I was bummed, and my best friend recommended I find something like a new hobby or a new show to watch that wouldn't make me think of my boyfriend. I decided to get a dog. Okay, that is really strange. Yeah, you decided to get a dog instead of watching a show or find a new hobby. A bit irrational, wouldn't you think? To take your mind off your boyfriend, you got a dog? My boyfriend is horribly allergic to pet dander, so I never even considered getting a pet. What? So, okay. Well, here, let me say this then. In you getting a dog, this is you deciding for good that you're done with this man. So at this point, what you could have done is sent him a text being like, hey, I don't know what's up with you, but I'm deciding we are moving on. I'm getting a dog. Like we're broken up with, the end. Do you owe him that? If he's ghosting you? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how much time has passed, but whatever it is, it should be clear that you're done now. If you know that he's allergic, if he's highly allergic to pet dander and you choose to get a dog, then you have made that decision. However, since he broke up with me, I decided to get one. He's a senior dog from the shelter that needed rescuing. That's very sweet. He's low energy and likes to lay with his head in my lap while I read, work, or watch TV. After 6 weeks away, my boyfriend texted me that he was back and coming over tomorrow, which was yesterday, so we could talk. I was shocked and texted him back asking what he was talking about. He said he was back and ready to unpause our relationship for 6 weeks? For 6 weeks? Okay, I'm back on your side. He said he would talk to me about everything the next day. I texted back asking what relationship. He didn't answer. Yesterday, he showed up and told me he had done a lot of self-examination and was ready to move forward on his life path. He even wanted to talk about moving in together. Okay, so you didn't live together. Then he saw my dog and started freaking out. He asked me how I could get a dog when I know how sick he gets. I told him that since he broke up with me, I didn't think it mattered. He said he didn't break up with me. I said he ghosted me. He said he communicated with me, telling me he was pressing pause and visiting family. I said not answering texts is ghosting. We argued in circles, and then he said he had to leave because he was getting an allergic reaction, even though he was standing in the doorway, not inside. Well, I mean, if you're highly allergic, this is likely. This is his fault. I mean, I'm just going to say that. Obviously, it's his fault if he's not responding at all. But my question is, did you tell him definitively, hey, I don't like this ghosting thing. I'm breaking up with you now, just for clarity. Because all of this is from a lack of clarity at all. But if you told him, I'm not one to be put on pause, we're over. Somebody had to say that at some point. But the fact that that critical piece of information is missing and you went and you got a dog, that is a definitive line in the sand that says this relationship is done. And it's a senior dog. Please don't send that dog back. I feel like he broke up with me and it was okay that I got a dog. He says that he never did and therefore it's a horrible act of disregard to have gotten a dog. Disregard to who? Which of us is right? My best friend said I should break up with him because he's a jerk. Oh, so you're still in a relationship then? You think you haven't broken up with him yet? What? I don't think I should have to break up with someone that already broke up with me. Hey, he didn't break up with you, apparently. Apparently he just put a pause on a relationship and ghosted you for... No. You're pussyfooting around. Draw the line in the sand. Say the words out loud. Cast the spell. I'm breaking up with you. You. Cast the damn spell. Because he needs to hear that. And you need to hear that. Y'all need clarity, boo-boo. And your boyfriend did this. Don't get me wrong. Your boyfriend absolutely 100% did this. But he is weak. And in a man's weakness, unfortunately, I'm so sorry, girl, you got to be strong. Cast the spell. Get his ass out of there. Because now you got a dog to take care of and love. And you'll meet another man who doesn't ghost you for 6 weeks thinking he can play with you like that. Like a chess piece on a board. No. If I break up with him, I'm basically agreeing with him that he didn't break up with me and therefore I was an asshole for getting the dog, right? Stop. You're playing what is this? This is your ego now is involved. You want to know who's breaking up with who and so you don't want to break up with them because then you'd be an a-hole. Screw all that. This is politics. What is this? Stop. No. Break up with him. Don't do an ego thing. Be definitive. Because you ghosted me for 6 weeks and you weren't clear on what that means to me, I'm going to be clear for you now. I'm breaking up with you. It's okay to be the person to draw the line in the sand. It's got to be you this time because this man is weak. I agree. You're not the asshole, but you got to say the words. All right? That's my feeling. Not the a-hole. It's only a pause if both parties agree. Yes. A one-sided pause when the other is against it is, in fact, a breakup. But it still needs to be said, though, from somebody. You still got to say it. Somebody's got to say something. Which one of us is right? Do the semantics actually matter? 6 weeks of no contact and he just decides to magically show up again and he thinks you should have unpaused your life just because he said so? Lock him and move on. He does not have any right to disappear without communication, reappear as if nothing happened, and expect you to be okay with it. Completely agree. I'm willing to bet good money that if you accept this behavior once, it will become reoccurring for the rest of your relationship in life. Nobody has time for that nonsense. NTA. Again, with the do the semantics actually matter of like, break, blah, blah, blah. Not really, no, but the spell needs to be cast. We need a wizard here to cast the spell. There needs to be a spell. Just say it. He gave you a loaded gun and he's asking you to end. Well, this is not a good analogy. Let's not do that. Just say it. Hey, whatever it was, whatever the situation you thought it was, I'm telling you now, I'm saying the words now, we are broken up with. I do not want you in my life. I got a dog. His name is Gary. Okay? I love Gary. I don't love you now. We're done. You got to be strong in the presence of weakness. It always is that way. If somebody is weak near you, something flips in your brain and you got to just get strong. Good for you for adopting a senior dog. That's very good. But cast the damn spell. Outro.